Okay, here we are recording. Welcome to the Soul's Kitchen podcast, episode 32. I'm Lisa Wilby, and I'm so happy to welcome Morgan and Mallory, or Mallory and Morgan. Morgan and Mallory. Welcome. The famous duo. Hi. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Of course.
So glad to be here.
I love having conversations with people, like unedited, just real authentic, about what's lighting up your soul, like people who are living their soul's purpose or desire. And I know you guys, I've watched you guys. I know you do a little bit of, you're very creative, and I know you started in coffee. So that's why I wanted to also talk to you about some coffee adventures and what's happening. So why don't you take us back to how you met? If that's okay. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Well, go for it. So I guess Morgan and I met in 2020, so the year of the pandemic. And I had left school. I needed a bit of a brain break and applied at this cafe downtown called the Tipsy Muse cafe.
Oh, okay.
And I was in the middle of an interview with Morgan and Krista Touesnard, who was the owner. And it was the day that the world shut down. So they put the interview on pause about halfway through, and they were like, we don't know what the fate of this is going to be. And then a few months later, I got a message, and they were like, hey, we're starting to slowly reopen. Would you be interested in coming in just to do some part-time work? We'll get you trained up if you're still open to that. So yeah, I guess in brief words, that's kind of how we first connected.
Okay, so it was at the coffee shop.
Yeah. And I had been there like a year prior to that, and that was my first real coffee gig. I went to school and studied computer science, actually, and I had job offers when I graduated, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
And I feel like that was the point when I was like, what do I actually like? What fills me up? And like realizing that how I work really and what I'm doing for work really matters to me. So and then I kind of just had this like deep interest in coffee. I was really interested with how coffee how it connected people, and how it gave this like sense of home. So actually, after I graduated, my good friend Sarah Kierstead and I bought a van, and we drove out to California and spent 3 months on the road together. And it was really easy to feel lonely and isolated, and van life was like taking off at that point. And it was so like on the internet, it was just like, this is an amazing, glamorous thing. And then when we actually did it, we were like, this is really isolating. And coffee shops became the place where we'd walk in and feel this sense of home. So I was really intrigued by that. And I love hosting. And so I kind of was just trying to tap into what naturally made me feel like a spark, what made me energized, and try to pay attention to that. So that's kind of where coffee came into things. I liked how coffee tasted. I liked how it made me feel.
Yeah.
I like that, like caffeine. I like the caffeine.
Sure.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how I ended up because I was wanting to travel a lot. So I went to Australia for 6 months.
Really good coffee culture in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. And Tipsy didn't exist when I had moved, and then it opened while I was away, and I got hired via email when I was still abroad, because they were just so flat out. So that's where I start. That's when I started working in coffee. And then then Mal and I met, and we just like became.
That was it. Yeah. Did you work in coffee before Tipsy Muse? Were you working in coffee like while you were in Australia, or did you go to like a lot of great cafes?
A little bit. I got kind of an intro to it. I was working in like a small nonprofit cafe, but I was mostly mostly what was happening is the baristas would make these lattes and fill them to the brim.
Right.
And they have that like retention.
Yes.
And they would hand it to me and say, go serve that. And I'd be like shaking, holding this little saucer, like serving it. So I was in the environment, but and I got to like use the machine a bit, but I wasn't like working as a barista or anything. And then that I kind of just got like thrown into it at Tipsy and was just like learning as I went.
Well, you guys became really good baristas. Thanks. I mean, amazing. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that story. Coffee for me too. Same. I love it. We have a love affair. Yes. Love affair with coffee. I love it. So you get to the Tipsy, you're doing some amazing things there. And then you just sort of decided you wanted to make this your kind of, well, it was you guys were managing there, right?
Yeah.
And then I know you moved over to Neighbourly, and then now you're doing, I've seen online that you're doing some pop-up stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I'm skipping some things, but I'm going to let you guys talk about whatever you want to talk about. But tell me about the pop-up stuff, because I'm always thinking like, I always like to, well, you know, when you see people online, you're always thinking, okay, what are they going to do next? And then you see, oh, look at that. And it's like, oh, wow, what's that all about? So how do you do coffee as a pop-up? And we're skipping, but I want to go back because I want to talk about making coffee, because there's drinking coffee, because I was a customer of coffee too first before I became a maker of, I guess, a barista coffee, whatever. And it's two different things, right? So how did that, you know what I mean? I don't even know what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, of course, no.
I'm just yeah.
Okay, wait. So
yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just going to apologize up front. This was what happens when everything's unscripted. We're flying here. Okay.
It makes it more fun. So the pop-up for us, we're both kind of at this in-between phase. You know, we've worked together now for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that we've become like a package deal, but in a way.
Well, yeah, that's what I say. Is like, I want to fall, like, I'm interested. Like, that's what I say. Like, I was trying to Morgan Mal, like, what are they up to? What's going on?
Yeah. So I think we have this like really interesting and really beautiful dynamic between the two of us where it feels really hard to conceptualize moving into other fields of work without the other,
right?
Which maybe sounds dramatic, but it really does feel that way. So yeah, being in this in-between phase, I mean, we love coffee so much, and it's how we met. It's been our careers for the last 5 years. We were really seeing a future in it, and we didn't want to let it go. But it's really hard. I think like what we've kind of realized and what we're moving through is like owning a space, renting a space, having a storefront. It's hard. It's expensive.
Lisa, you know.
I know.
You could talk about that way more than we could talk about.
Well, no, but I mean, that's why I'm just the same. I'm the same. I love coffee, but it's the reality of it is.
Yeah. How do you make it work?
And margins are not very big.
No.
It's a lot of work, like any business.
Yeah. And you know, I don't think that we're not disillusioned to the fact that it is hard work, but it's like, where do you start? And I think we're big dreamers, the two of us. You know, we would love to have a storefront at some point. And so when we left Neighbourly, you know, we were like, what comes next? And there's this feeling of self-doubt, I think, like for us in our circumstance. We were like, what do we do? Can we do anything? Does the community even care? Like, you know, there's so many coffee shops that exist in this city, which is amazing. So it's like, can we even fill a spot that like is needed, or does it not exist? So yeah, we kind of took a bit of time. We took a few months really to just kind of do some traveling and thinking and rest. And we were just like, no, I think we're ready. Our friend Emma Betts is a yoga instructor, and she approached us.
That's what I saw that. And so you're doing some, okay, awesome.
And so she's been running these yoga mornings, and she approached us and was like, I would love to have coffee at one of them. And for us, I think that was, I mean, we had been kind of like scheming and going, okay, what are we
going to do? Yeah.
This was the push that I think we really needed, because it feels so vulnerable to put something and to put yourself forward. And so when she approached us, we were like, okay, we know Emma, we love Emma, we trust Emma, and whatever it is that she's doing, if we can bring something of ourselves to that, like we should just try. And so yeah, we kind of dove in with that first pop-up a few weekends ago now.
I think like there's just been a lot of like mental barriers, and we're used to using really nice commercial equipment. And we have a Breville. Like we have like one of the lowest end espresso machines you can have.
Yeah.
I suppose, or like in the like just like personal home kitchen use. Like it's not, by no means it's meant to make coffee after coffee after coffee.
Right.
After coffee.
Right.
So we kind of are just in the mindset of doing what we have with what we've got and just starting there. Because we just to gain momentum, I think, and to just,
that's awesome. Yeah, just start. You don't have to have everything in place to start.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole, like, if I don't know, thinking about it, people like seeing our story, and even just like you having this on the podcast and people listening to this, it feels so like, it's like, do I have something to share that people are going to resonate with? But it's so easy to be like, or to make barriers or like have things stop you, whether they're in your head or they might actually be like logistical things that make it difficult. But there's a sweet older lady, Maggie, said, when there's a problem, there's always a solution. So, which is like very simple. But it's like, if you have that mindset, that's, you can keep moving forward with that.
That's actually really true.
Yeah. So I think we're just like, all right, we love this thing. We know we love this thing. How can we do it right now? Looking at like what resources we have, and that's kind of the answer. We're like, okay, we love it. We've taken time to connect with other people that work in coffee and get advice. Like there's a roaster that we really like, Matthew at Touchy Coffee.
Where does he?
They roast in Troy, New York. And when we were getting the pop-up up and going for Neighbourly at Picaroons, that was kind of the starting point there.
Right, that's right.
We kind of like, we went there, we were gaining some inspiration and insight, and we've created a friendship with him. And so we had a chat with him, and he was like, just stay small, like, especially the uncertainty of the world, and like times are hard, but it's like, just use what you've got and stay small. So that's really, we've been dreaming big, like Mal said, and then we kind of just narrow back into like, okay, let's just do something.
Yeah, that's
small
awesome.
as possible. So and then the week later we ran a little pop-up out of my apartment. So we've seen those all, like, our algorithm at least has been like apartment cafes, like we're just seeing them, like,
I think I love that. Well, next time you do one, I want to, like I said, I'm not very techie, but I want to come to one. So if you do another one, let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think I've been seeing them after they happen for some reason. But anyway,
we're just keeping it like, we just did a trial one, so it was like invite only. Let's figure out how we can make this work. It wasn't, we didn't miss anything. We're kind of just like,
I had FOMO.
No, it's really fun to see like who's interested, because now we're like, okay, when we do another one, when people are like, oh, I'd like to come to that, because like part of it is like, do people want to come to this?
So like friends, like close friends that we invited.
Well, I think you guys, I understand that. I think you guys hit it on the head. Like, coffee is all about connection. There's something about all of the elements of it. You know, it's the sipping of it. It's like, I don't like this fast whatever coffee that a lot of people do, and they don't even really know what they're drinking. You know, the sipping of it, the smell of it, how it tastes, when you know how it was made, what's gone into it. Like, there's all kinds of, the grind, the proportion of the water to the grind, like which method are you know what I mean? All of that stuff, so much, which I love. But, and it can be simple, because if you think about how coffee started, it was simple. They were boiling it like tea, or they're eating the berry off the tree. If that goat story that everyone knows, but I think it was a true story. And then the first coffee where they started heating it up, I think it was in Turkey. So the Turkish coffee, it was just such a simple, it doesn't have to be complicated. Like you said, you don't have to have the big machine that makes I at home, I just use a Chemex pour over,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. It makes great coffee, and whatever, pour over, stovetop.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's sort of complicated and simple all at the same time.
Oh yeah, you can get into so many details of it, which
you can.
like is really fun too. But then
it is
you can
fun.
just like kind of zoom back out and just. I mean, we like being in the details to an extent to really like pay attention and like
and the milk, like you guys have
really good and invite people into that. And I think like when Mal was talking earlier about like where do we fit in the coffee scene in the context of Fredericton, and we really are like we love light and medium roast. Like there's so many cafes that do a darker roast coffee, which is like a lot of people's preference, totally fine. But if the thing that we love, that we want to show people a different coffee experience, is those lighter roasted coffees that are you're tasting more of the origin notes, like instead of the more you roast it, you're kind of just arriving at like smoky and dark chocolate, and that's I think all coffee has its like place, and like people can have their preference, absolutely. But for us, we're like, okay, the people that want to taste more of like, I don't know what exists there, I guess, like with where the coffee's been grown and those origin notes,
origin notes,
like in the roasters that are like finding them, I guess. I don't know what but that's kind of like how I view it, at least. So and just being able to taste what's there, and like we love like fruity or tea like coffees, which is surprising. And that was the thing when I started at Tipsy, like we started doing coffee differently, and as I was learning, I was like sharing that with customers, and it felt like specialty coffee was just beginning in Fredericton, and it was really cool to be part of that. And there were people here that were like living or working in coffee that knew more than I did, for sure. It's not like I like knew all that stuff, but it was like an opportunity for me to learn and share that at the same time with people that were interested. And that's still what we want to do. There's like infinite things to learn. So yeah, I think we're just like taking the niche, or like the coffee, our coffee preferences, and bring that to people.
Bring it to that's amazing. And I think, like you say, there's room for everything. So there is the fast coffee out the door, whatever, and then there's because you could tell, right? Or the people, let's say the people who noticed, like I noticed. I'm not saying I don't know, that came out wrong, but lots of people noticed, I'm sure, like that. I don't mean I didn't, anyway, that you guys are doing something different, because people who really appreciate coffee, and the roast is important. It's really important. I remember I went to Australia too. It sort of happened because I have family there, and I was there before I opened up the Cedar Tree. And what a gift it was, because I got to go around and visit different cafes, and I couldn't believe the culture there. It was amazing. So like ahead of anything, like sort of what you guys are wanting to do now, and they were doing it, this was about, I don't know, long time ago. And I remember even you could go into places where you could roast your own coffee. They were like laundromats, but they were coffee roasters.
That's cool.
Yeah, like they were just stuff that people were doing. So I guess all that to say is, I think whatever you want to do, like you follow it'll happen, your niche. But so you found touchy roasters. Because the roast is important. When you can find like a roaster that you can work with, that's an amazing thing.
So touchy, like we've definitely like had their coffee and worked with them, but with the like they're in the US, and with the tariffs and the dollars, we haven't had their coffee in a minute, but we've been working with Duck, and they're based in Fredericton.
Is he East Coast? He's got
East Coast Eaters, Alex, and then their roaster is JF, and Alex is in St. John, and then JF is here in Fredericton.
Right.
And they've been so amazing to work with and dialogue with and connect with.
That's awesome.
And just like, I mean, same sort of like-minded.
Right.
Like how this conversation is, like where it's like, here's what we're wanting to do. And they're like, here's what we're doing, and finding that alignment and encouraging each other. And and they roast that sort of coffee, the light, medium, and single origins, and bring in some really good stuff. So we're really excited to be brewing their coffee. But that's what we've been doing like the last bit.
Yeah. That's amazing. So what, so are there going to be more pop-ups coming, or do you know? Yeah. The US.
Yeah.
You don't even.
We hope. Our goal right now is to try to do one a month.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Not trying to like push too big too fast. The first one was really just like, do people care? And then inviting people that we know that we can trust to give us honest feedback and be like, hey, this worked or this didn't work. But I think overall it was really well received, which feels so exciting. So we're hoping that once a month we can kind of invite people into Morg's apartment and then serve coffee and have people here and hanging out. We're hoping at some point too we can maybe look at getting into some markets, doing some events and be kind of more event-based and portable down the line. So just kind of trying to fill a gap in the market here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it's really like we're just trying to like gain momentum, honestly. And it's like, okay, what we can do right now is just like have some people over and make them coffees and see what they think, and just have like serve coffee again. Like after we literally made coffee for 2.5 hours, like nonstop, just like people were trickling in. And it wasn't that it was like that slammed. We're literally using a machine that we
that
can't
took a while.
milk at the same time. So it's just really time consuming. But we have a machine that we are looking at to upgrade to when we
for the portable thing kind of.
And so we're kind of just like, and since we have mentioned we're doing this, like, I mean, you're like, ooh, cool. And then other people are like, ooh, could you come do this thing for me? Oh, would you come into my home and like do a private event? And like private chefs go into homes.
It's true.
And so we're like, can we offer that? And when we've worked in
pairings.
coffee, when we have worked in, well, we've been working in coffee, but we've gotten inquiries for weddings, like not currently, but over the last few years, like when we were working at other shops, people would inquire. So we're like,
is there a market there?
We're not totally sure, but we're just starting and hoping like as we are making the way, like we find, like, I don't know, just can say yes to things and try it.
And just follow your dreams. Here, my cup says, I don't know if it's coming up, but it's stay loyal to your dreams.
Oh, cute.
So I don't know. If it's sort of backwards, I guess. But anyway, so that's great.
It's not an easy.
No, but I mean, that's why I want to talk to people. Like, what, how do you move forward? I'm doing the same thing. Like, I do things outside. I have a job, right? And then I want to do things outside like this that light me up or inspire me or whatever. So that, you don't have to take big leaps. You just take small inspired steps and move forward.
I love that you're doing this. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask you a question.
You can ask me anything.
I just wonder, like, I know you said you've taken a little bit of a break this summer and you're jumping back in. What maybe came up for you, like reflecting on your first 31 episodes? Like, what's your takeaway, like doing this? Like, it's so cool that you're doing this.
Well, I really just wanted to have, again, I missed the connection. I wanted to have really good or authentic conversations with people. That was really the inspiration there. And I thought if, you want to meet people and kind of, randomly, but it doesn't happen. So I thought I'm going to purposefully start a podcast and pick people and have conversations with them. So it's building something up in me to have those conversations or these conversations about things that I see people doing that they love, and the inspiration there, and just to talk about it. That's all. Like I want to create a space for that. I guess that's my, so even, and then I thought about, I do love coffee. So I thought about reaching out. I'm going to reach out to some coffee people in town and maybe probably Duck. I'm just not, I'm not, I see his stuff. His videos are great. I'm not that techie. So I've got to, there's a part of, even for me to do this is a huge leap for me, but to get like edited videos, but I kind of like the idea of not editing and just having it be what it is.
Yeah, of course.
So that was sort of the inspiration for me. And then I had a whole list of people that I thought I'll want to talk to. And I thought there's no way that all of them are going to say yes. And everybody said yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Except for one person, but that's okay. Cause then I was like, so then I was sort of following that energy, to talk to people and get it going. So I didn't know what I was doing. Same thing. So I just started.
Yeah.
And I figured it out as I went along.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a bit more I can figure out tech wise, but I might get someone well, I want to do like how to do advertising, things like that. So if you guys know if anyone who could help me with that, maybe. So even just to get it on like YouTube and Facebook is huge, but I want to do a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm still having the conversation. So sorry, that was a long answer to your question.
No, that's great. I think you're doing the thing that matters most is having the conversations and
I want to have the rest. That's the thing that I wanted to do. So in about things that there's so many people in the Maritimes are doing so many interesting things.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I want to talk to them. I've had some musicians, some artists, and I want to do some coffee stuff. And are you, Mallory? I know that you've done some theater stuff. I don't know if you want to talk about that. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it is. So I grew up doing theater. I did it all through school. I part of Theatre New Brunswick's programs growing up.
Okay.
And it was something that I always loved doing, but it never really felt like something that I wanted to pursue as a career. Right. But I also didn't want to lose it. So I've kind of throughout the few years in high school, just like coming in and out of it, which is, that also feels scary when you leave something for a few years. You're like, can I go back to it? Do I know how to do this? Do I still care about it? But every time I have the opportunity to go back, it always is just so like soul filling every time. And I've met some of my best friends through doing theater as well. So it's just kind of like a nice reminder of a different type of community that's out there. We found such a cool community through hospitality and coffee. And then the theater community is something entirely different. But, it fills my cup in a different way. Yeah. It's, really social. You have to do a lot of, different work, I guess, too. So I work now when I am getting back involved in it, primarily backstage. So more of like the managerial, organizing,
that's cool.
Helping people out behind the scenes kind of stuff, which is something that I really love. So the most recent production that I worked on was Come From Away with Real Productions and say.They Company.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Good for you.
So fun. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, because I always say this, like you're kind of on stage when you're working at a coffee shop, right? You have to have that personality, like, anyway. So so it's all working together.
Yeah, for sure. I think one thing that we talked, like maybe was a question earlier, but maybe we haven't totally touched on is like our dynamic. I mean, Mal talked about it a little bit, but it's really like working together for years. Like it's not typical, like I guess, which I don't really love typical anyway. I mean, that's kind of boring. So I think like when people see the value in us, like behind the scenes, like we both have our unique skill sets and we've learned over the years how to really just work together. And like I feel like I'll have like big idea and then Mal helps me refine it, right? Or helps like us refine it into something that could actually work. And then like executing is her forte. Like it's like I might be like, okay, here are the steps, but I'm overwhelmed by all the steps, and then she's like, okay, here I go. And she gets on her laptop and just like, this needs ordered, this needs done. And she's just like, gets it done so quickly. And so we've like kind of figured out this way that we operate together. And we both, I mean, obviously everyone processes the world differently, but we see things different. We like are the same and different at the same time. Like
you see them the way you see them. Yeah,
for sure. And so like, I think it helps with blind spots when you have someone else. Not that like
absolutely
with the two of us, everything's covered. And then we have other, like, you just need people to do anything. Like
you do. And I think
really do.
We've lost. It's so funny because when you guys first mentioned how you met in COVID, and we kind of laughed about that because there was a time when we were in COVID. It wasn't very funny, but it's great that we can like. So I think so many good things came out of it. But so yeah, and just making that connection, like you guys, we all crave connection. We're supposed to be connected, and then sort of what COVID did was create a lot of disconnection. We were disconnected. But people are craving that, so you're finding other ways around it, I guess.
I think now we're sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just think like, yeah, absolutely. And it's really interesting but no matter like what's going on, you can see when that lack exists, and we're all finding ways to connect in the ways that we could. And I guess like, we've been looking at that through a context of coffee and how that brings people together. And it's when we got to serve people, was it last Saturday, 2 Saturday? Anyway, whenever that Saturday? Was last Saturday. Just over a week ago, it was just amazing to make people a coffee again. And like one friend that came got the cup in her hand and just like had this like huge exhale and then just like, it was the best feeling. It was like, wow, like this matters. This really matters. And it's really easy. Like you were saying, like coffee can just be like, oh, give me my like large double, like whatever. And like, that's still like a routine for people. And that's an okay. It's not, I'm not like,
no, I get it.
Very different than this, like you grab it and it's like sacred almost. And I think for us, it's like a pause and a stop in your day. And we also just, if we can make someone's day and be a bright spot in their day and like launch them into whatever their day is going to be a part of that feels like such an honor. So we both love that so much. And we're like, how can we do that? And so we don't know yet, but
you're already doing it. And you've done it always a lot. I remember getting coffee from you guys. You've made my day many times. So thank you.
Yeah. And it's like always so fun. Like we were almost like colleagues in a way when we were all at Pickeroons together.
That's right. We were. That's right. We were. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah,
we got to
that
make
was fun.
Coffee.
You got to make me coffee. Oh, yeah, it was a joy. But and so no pressure, but I hope I get invited one day.
Oh, Lisa,
I would love for you guys to make me coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you.
The couple of questions I ask everyone on the podcast, I'm going to ask you guys. They're not hard or anything. They're just sort of questions. What would be a belief that you once had as a child that you don't believe anymore or don't believe to be true anymore?
I don't know if it's like so much of a belief, but like following the path that you're supposed to follow and taking all the necessary steps to get there. I just don't. I think that everyone's life path is so different, and to like pigeonhole people into this one specific way of moving through life, I think that it can be so damaging to people, and you like get so in your head about, I'm not doing the right thing, I'm not taking the right steps, I'm not where I should be. But I don't think that there is a should be that really exists, because everything, like life is so fluid and it changes and it moves, and you make connections with people, and you find yourself working in a coffee shop that you never thought was part of your plan. And then you never go back to school and you found a career that you end up loving so much more than you ever thought was possible. So I don't know. I think for me, that's one that I'm trying to kind of rid myself of.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is like permission too, to like stray away from whatever like you were told was how you were supposed to navigate life, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, like I think definitely the same thing. Like the reason I did my degree and finished it and then got to the end of it and went, wait, I don't want to do this, was because I was just doing what I was supposed to do, and not assessing what do I actually love. And I feel like that's such a privilege too, to be able to do that. And I like say this understanding that not everyone gets to do that.
Yeah.
And being able to and really just ask yourself what makes your soul come alive, and love is an amazing gift. And I think like I would love to tell my younger self. I mean, I think you go through the things you go through and you learn on the way.
Right.
But I think it's definitely the path is not linear for sure.
No, it's not. And
it's way better when it's not, in fact.
Yeah. And if you could, I love those answers. So the next question kind of maybe already answered it, but what is something that you've done recently that would make your younger self proud?
Oh, so many things, which feels
nice which is
amazing.
That's awesome. I love that. Yes.
But I think the biggest one in the last few weeks, for me at least, is just putting yourself forward with the pop-ups. It's so easy to not push yourself to do the things that feel uncomfortable and that feel difficult. And not that putting on the pop-up was the hardest thing in the world, but you have these barriers in your brain.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Should I? Will it make a difference? And to get yourself past that point and to just allow yourself to do it, like I think for me, and I think for Morg too, there was so much pride that came out of it. And it's just like an acknowledgement of, I am capable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Self-doubt is a huge thing to overcome. Definitely. So, and this was something that we'd been talking about and sitting on since May. Like it wasn't like, and Emma, we brought up Emma because that pushed us when we like are like, oh, we're coming together. It's more than just us. Like that was the exact, like someone believing in us before we'd even started. And she's like, I know you
that's so
can
nice.
do this. Like it was very, it's kind of what we needed to start. So I'd say doing that was great.
Fun. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. One more question. What's an ingredient? So what's an ingredient in life that's like it doesn't have to be food. It can be food, but you know what I mean? Like what's something that's been like one word or a phrase that's been kind of the ingredient in your life? Can be coffee.
I think in the past few years for me that I've revisited a lot is openness. And what does openness look like in so many contexts? I think when we're doing this, we're like, okay, we need let's be open to what might come up and you never know what will come up. Like we've had a few people reach out over the last few months. Like, what are you up to? Like how maybe we could collaborate, and just finding that right or not right, but like a collaboration that might end up working. But we've been so open to those things, and just exploring them and navigating that way, I guess. So that would be
openness. I love it.
Yeah. Connection, I think, is a big one. And, just allowing yourself to move through different connections that you're pursuing, whether it be with a close friend or with family or with someone that's been in your life previously and that's come back into it. We just move through different stages of life all the time. And I think connecting with people is really at the heart of what we're doing in coffee.
Right.
But then at the heart of every day, it's so easy to kind of move yourself off to it and to get into your own head. And
you literally start talking to someone and you realize like you feel so isolated in what you're experiencing, and then they're like, oh, me too, and then you're like, oh, that
wow,
was
exactly,
I didn't feel alone in this. And it's a very human experience the whole range of emotions and things that we go through, and it really helps to be able to talk about it. And
well, thank you guys for honestly, we're creating these beautiful moments of connection through coffee and your friendship, and it's all amazing. It's all beautiful. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me.
Thanks for having us.
This is a
my pleasure.
Really
good. Well, with coffee too, right? I know you guys are you guys drinking coffee? Yeah, I'm drinking wine. Yeah.
Well, we'll keep you posted on our next, and we'd love to see you here.
Okay. I will be there with bells on. Thank you so much. Just stick around. I'm going to end the recording, and thank you again. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.